Imagine a person you felt you know and saw every day suddenly looking completely different. Fans are currently saying that about Rachael Ray. Fans claim that the smiling, vivacious chef that we all knew has been replaced by a person they do not even recognize. Take a big breath before you see her now, because everyone is questioning what happened to her. The answer is far more significant and startling than you may imagine. The narrative starts in May 2025. Rachael shared a Mother's Day video. She was talking about her past while wearing spectacles in her kitchen. She related how, when she first moved to New York City, she was extremely destitute. Living on $40 a week, she claimed, she was too afraid to inform her mother she had no money. Fans, however, were not interested in the plot. Rachael was the center of their attention. The comments section went crazy. People were anxious. She sounded as though her voice was shaking. It wasn't the first time that someone asked, "Are you okay? You do not look well." Another wrote, "She's unrecognizable." For months, this concern had been growing. When she uploaded additional cooking videos back in the fall of 2024, viewers began to worry that something was amiss. The remarks were nasty. What became of her? Does she feel all right? One individual wrote, "I confess that I was surprised that this was her," someone else said. "It isn't cruel. This is merely an observation." And Rachael Ray is the most prevalent. She appears to be someone else. Fans began pointing at particular objects. They claimed that she spoke slurredly. Her mouth seemed lower on one side than the other, which alarmed some. This sparked horrifying conjecture. There was widespread concern that she had had a stroke. Fans speculated about even more sinister explanations for the modification. Some supporters begged for mercy, speculating that she might be taking large amounts of steroids to treat a secret medical condition. These remarks have never been addressed by Rachael herself. She hasn't addressed her health concerns. Compared to the vibrant star we all knew, the woman in these films seems worn down and fragile. This is how fans perceived it. A woman who shook and was unidentifiable. However, a month after that startling May 2025 video, she went out, and the woman on the red carpet had a completely different narrative to tell. An extremely uncommon public appearance by Rachael Ray took place on June 12, 2025. She attended for a cause close to her heart, the North Shore Animal League, America's celebration of rescue, along with her husband, John Cusimano. This event was enormous. It was Howard Stern. It was Hank Azaria. Despite being on the red carpet, Rachael didn't appear weak. Photographers captured her in a joyful pose. She had a big smile. She was spotted holding pups for the cameras as she posed for pictures with her spouse. She had a joyful expression. She appeared fit. It had been a whole year since most people had seen her in public. She last made a significant appearance in June 2024 at the same event. This only served to deepen the mystery. This happy woman holding pups in June, how could she be the unidentifiable woman from the May video? Did she just pretend to be brave? Did she have something to hide? How come she's been so content and healthy? Why does she hardly ever appear in public? The disappearance enigma includes all of this. Rachael Ray was a regular part of our lives for 17 years. Rachael Ray, her daytime chat program, ran 5 days a week. Then it ceased in 2023. Rachael also simply stopped appearing on daytime TV. A lot of people assumed she had just vanished. She has, however, discussed this. According to her, she did not vanish. She claims that her work has never ceased. So, where did she go? The first big reveal is the answer. She is not limited to New York anymore. Now, Rachael Ray divides her time between two locations, Tuscany, Italy, a small, tranquil town, and New York. "I would rather live in Italy," she remarked. She desires a more tranquil life. She's simply busy, she's not gone. In late 2024, she even started a new podcast called I'll Sleep When I'm Dead, but after only 8 episodes, she put it on hold. For what reason? She explained to People magazine that it was because her own company received a large order for new shows. In a new nation, she is busier than ever and leads a more tranquil existence. However, this only begs the question. For what reason? Why leave a 17-year-old popular show? Just why relocate to Italy? Why did she so desperately need a tranquil life? You must comprehend the night that altered her life forever in order to comprehend why she had to flee. You must remember the night her whole world turned to ash. The night her entire world exploded. The date was August 9, 2020. In Lake Luzerne, New York, Rachael was at her house. This was her haven, a home she had created for herself in the middle of the woods. She had her mother, her dog, Bella, and her husband, John, at home. And then it began. Later on, she would explain how she realized something wasn't right. She said, "I could hear the fire in the wall. I could hear electricity. I could hear danger. A fire had broken out and was moving fast. The family and the dog got out with nothing. They were safe, but her house, her entire life was gone." Viewer video showed intense flames shooting from the home. Rachael called the experience blood-curdling. She stood on the road and watched her home be completely destroyed. She lost everything, but it was the small things that hurt the most. She later talked about what she lost, not just clothes, which can be replaced. She lost her notebooks. Her husband, a musician, lost his music books, things that are not so easily replaceable. She told one truly heartbreaking story. Her home had a pizza oven. In the days after the fire, she looked at the wreckage and thought the pizza oven had survived. It was one small thing that made it through. But she was wrong. She said that 12 or 13 days later, something fell and broke the pizza oven, too. The house was a total loss. It was bulldozed. Her reaction at the time was amazing. She said she was grateful. "We're all okay." She told her fans, "These are the days we all have to be grateful for what we have, not what we've lost," but the trauma was deep. This is the moment that changed her. She said it herself in a tearful video years later. "I can say from personal experience, when disaster strikes your home, your life changes forever." This is the before and after moment. This is the event that explains the need for a quieter life in Italy. It explains the trauma that fans might be seeing in her face and hearing in her voice. How could anyone survive that? How could anyone come back from watching their life get bulldozed? The truth is, Rachael Ray has been a fighter her whole life. And this was not the first time she had been attacked. Long before she was a TV star, Rachael Ray lived in New York City in the 1990s. She worked at the candy counter at Macy's and later managed the fresh foods department. She then helped open a famous gourmet market called Agata and Valentina. But her life in the city was terrifying. She was mugged outside her apartment in Queens. A man slammed her against a door and jammed a gun in her back. She screamed and fought him off with mace. It was a horrible random attack, but it got worse. A few days later, her assailant returned. It was the same man. He found her again in the same location. This time, he dragged her into a side alley. She later said, "He beat the crap out of me with his gun." She only escaped because of her dog, Liza. The dog chased the man and scared him away. After being attacked twice by the same man, she was done. She moved out of Queens and back to her hometown upstate. Do you see the pattern? A terrible life-changing trauma in New York City. So, she fled. She escaped upstate to rebuild her life. That is exactly what she did decades later. A terrible life-changing trauma with the fire. So, she fled. She escaped to Italy to rebuild her life. And that first escape, the one after the horrible attacks, that escape is what accidentally created her entire career. After fleeing New York City, Rachael was back upstate. She got a job as a food buyer at a gourmet market called Cowan and Lowell in Albany. She was not a trained chef. She just loved food. To help the store sell more food during the holidays, she had an idea. She started teaching a cooking class. She called it 30-minute Mediterranean meals. The class was a huge hit. The local CBS station WRGB noticed her. They loved her bubbly personality and her simple recipes. They gave her a weekly 30-minute meals segment on the local news. That local news segment, along with her first cookbook, got her a spot on the Today Show. And who was watching the Today Show? Executives at the Food Network. They saw her, they loved her, and in 2001 they gave her her first contract. 30-minute meals was born. Her career exploded. It was not just 30-minute meals. It was $40 a day. It was tasty travels. It was Inside Dish. It was dozens of cookbooks. It was her own magazine every day with Rachael Ray. And it was her giant, very successful dog food company, Nutrish. She was the biggest star in food. She was relatable. She was not a fancy chef. She was one of us. But the woman who was attacked in that alley was about to be attacked all over again. This time by the one person who was not one of us, the queen of perfection, Martha Stewart. Rachael Ray's success was a problem for Martha Stewart. Martha was the old guard. She was about perfection. Rachael was the new guard. She was about getting it done fast. Martha did not like it. In a famous interview, Martha attacked Rachael. She said Rachael is an entertainer and cannot bake. Martha did not stop there. She attacked Rachael's new cookbook, calling it just a re-edit of a lot of her old recipes, Martha said. And that's not good enough for me. It seemed like a one-sided cat fight, but the real drama was happening behind the scenes. And this is the part most people do not know. In September 2006, 4 of Martha Stewart's own staffers were caught trying to sneak into a taping of Ray's show. They were spies. A source said they were kicked out because they lied about their names. This shows how big of a threat Rachael really was. Martha's team was spying on her. So, how did Rachael, the fighter, respond to this? She did not fight back. She won by being herself. When asked about Martha's comments, Rachael said, "I have nothing but respect for Martha." She even agreed with her. She said, "Her skill set is far beyond mine." She then gave the ideal phrase, one that summed up her entire brand: "I don't work for Martha. I'd rather eat Martha's than mine, too. I work for my viewers." She won. She was battling Martha in public. And she was battling other problems in court. She was sued over her natural dog food. The lawsuit claimed the food contained a weed-killing chemical. Another lawsuit claimed it had artificial preservatives. The strangest lawsuit, one that claimed they found dog DNA in her lamb recipe dog food. Rachael Ray was a fighter. She battled a mugger with a gun. She battled the queen of daytime TV. She battled lawsuits and she battled a devastating fire. After 17 years on her hit talk show, she was tired of fighting. She was ready for a new chapter. This brings us to the biggest question of all. Why did she really walk away from her show? The Rachael Ray Show ended in 2023. This was after 17 seasons and 17 years on top. The easy answer is that ratings had declined, and they had. But that is not the real story. The real story is in her official statement. She said, "It's time for me to move on. From the talk show format to a platform free from the conventional distribution norms, my passions have changed." What does it mean to be unencumbered by the traditional rules? Control is what it means. There will be no ratings, no standard regulations, no network executives, and no sponsors to appease. This all relates to the fire. Recall that she filmed her show from her small guest house after her house burned down. She did everything by herself with her spouse, John. She experienced a new way of living. "It was our small world to simply be ourselves," she continued. "Then we had to let everyone in at once." She learned from the fire that she longed to reclaim her small world. She had had enough of letting everyone in. So she used her power. In addition to announcing the end of her 17-year talk show, she also announced the opening of her new business, Free Food Studios, on the same day. She was not cancelled. She didn't go into retirement. She turned. To start a new empire, she abandoned her previous one. And from a new house, she is constructing it. A house she genuinely constructed out of nothing. This is her ideal Italian house, where she lives today. The reward is this. Today, Rachael Ray is in this position. She's in Italy's Tuscany. However, she did not simply purchase a stunning property in Italy. She's not like that. The stable she purchased was centuries old. It was without heat, power, plumbing, or water when she purchased it. It was a lengthy, deserted ruin. Are you able to see it now? The ultimate rebuild is this one. She lost her sanctuary, her home in New York, to fire. It was gone. She discovered a ruin in Italy as a result. She also made it come to life. This pattern is same. When her house in New York burned down, she recreated it from memory. Building, not just buying, is her obsession. Rachael Ray's Italian Dream Home, her new show, featured the whole crazy makeover. To make the ceilings high enough, they had to dig floors. She constructed a music hall for her husband, John. In a typical Rachael gesture, she even constructed a whole kitchen in the bedroom. It's not a holiday house, this Italian property. Her new workplace is there. The new set for her new life is this one. And her new empire's headquarters are located there. She's doing this at the moment. Now she is like this. She is no longer a daytime television host. She runs the studio. She started Free Food Studios. The network Uplift was so impressed that they purchased a 50% share in it, and she recently inked a huge new contract for 110 brand new episodes. In her own lifestyle block, Homemade Nation, she is the main attraction. She has already aired her new series. In Tuscany, Rachael Ray comes first. Her Italian villa's brand new kitchen serves as the filming location. Chicken piccata and rabbit ragu are among the regional cuisines she prepares. She's living the life of her dreams. The second is Rachael Ray's weekly meals. Her signature 30-minute dishes are given a new twist. The third show, which is the most crucial and provides all the information, comes next. It's known as Rachael Ray's Rebuild. This is not merely a spectacle. It's her new goal. It was directly inspired by the fire in her own home. A different family whose lives have been ruined is assisted by Rachael in each episode. She assists those who have lost their houses due to tornadoes, floods, and fires. To assist them, she draws on her own heart-stopping experience. Rachael's emotional expression in the show's teaser says it all. My goal is to assist folks in rebuilding their lives and homes. Fans are requesting this response. Does she feel all right? They notice a woman who appears unrecognizable and is trembling. However, they are not witnessing a victim. They're going to see a survivor. She is not damaged. She's in charge. She is a person who experienced the most terrible tragedy that can be imagined. She lost her life to a fire. She also turned her trauma into money. To help others, she made a television show out of her darkest nightmare. And one final astounding fact gave her the ability to achieve all of it. Rachael Ray is thought to be worth $100 million. TV for so many years was the source of this enormous wealth. This was inspired by her best-selling cookbooks. It originated from her well-liked cookware collection. And Nutrish, her pet food business, contributed significantly to it. That $100 million is more than just a sum of money. It is liberty. The ability to leave a 17-year hit show is what it is. It's the ability to refuse network managers. It is the ability to purchase a stable in Italy without electricity and then spend a fortune rebuilding it. Setting up your own studio, hiring your own team, and creating a new business where you make all the decisions is what it means to be free. Therefore, you are not witnessing a broken person when you watch Rachael Ray, the woman in those unsettling films. This is the face of a person who has experienced the fire. The deep breath in the title does not literally refer to a tragedy. It's because she was shocked to learn that she wasn't just surviving. Living in her ideal Italian villa and constructing a new empire from the ashes of her previous one, she is in charge.